So hi everyone, this is Justin from the Achievement Squad coming at you with a 100% walkthrough for the indie title Planet of Lana. So from this point onwards there is a full spoiler warning in effect because I show you the game from start to finish, including all cutscenes, dialogue and everything else along the way. And a big thank you that goes out to Thunderful and Wishfully Gaming and Plan of Attack PR for allowing us to play the game early. Overall, this game is probably my favourite indie title of the year. Visually, it's one of the most impressive games from an indie perspective. You know, it's all hand-painted artwork along the way, so it is really worth the effort. In terms of the story as well, it's got a neat little backstory going along the way and some really good puzzles. There's a grand total of 25 achievements, I believe, to get along the way. At this point in time, the achievement list is not formally announced of recording this video. There is one achievement that is linked to not dying on your playthrough, and there's a grand total of 10 collectibles across all chapters to this game, and those collectibles are a form of shrine. If you're a fan of things like Limbo, Inside, the Lost Words Behind the Page, this is a very similar style game, and this is for you. Overall, I've thoroughly enjoyed it. Now, so to get this show on the road, we're going to kick off with Chapter 1. And we're going to get a bit of a feel for the game. So this first level is pretty much to get a feel for the controls of the game. It's a classic left and right walking situation like we had with Lost Words Beyond the Page, that kind of stuff, so there's a lot of walking to the left or to the right. The game's going to take roughly about 3 hours to complete. So as you're going along, you can use the left trigger to crouch. This also counts as kind of the stealth mode for when you're encountering some of the enemies. You've got the classic jump and grab. And the character can also do things such as swimming and swinging as well, which you will eventually come to along the game. This first part is pretty much just a consistent case of following your sister. There will be some points in time where you won't be able to make a jump. Your character's just going to land in the water and you just need to keep swimming to the left. But keep following her along the main path. We're pretty much just heading for the left at the point of time. Just do all the jumping and climbing you need along the way. So we're now coming up on our first achievement of the game. It's not necessarily missable, but you'll need to crouch through here and you need to apply some stealth to get past the chef. And while she's not going to hurt you or kill you, she just doesn't like you intruding. And it's a classic case that she'll look over her shoulder and you need to be out of sight when she's looking over her shoulder. So make your way to the middle section, wait for her to face the chopping block and then move forward. And once you've done this successfully, you will bag yourself the achievement for sneaking past the chef. I don't know if this counts as a death if she catches you, but just play some caution not to get caught here because you'll have to replay the chapters. Now there is a chapter select feature. Once you have cleared that chapter, you can go back and replay it, or you can resume from that point onwards. But you'll get the achievement Sneaky Sisters at this point in time, and you just need to keep following your sister to the left. Okay, so we're going to come up on our kind of first partial puzzle. So you can press X to interact and move objects. In this case, we just need to pull the logs to the left before they roll down the hill, we need to jump on top and then jump onto the block in the background. You can just press A to clamber on objects that are in the background. Again, keep following your sister, and eventually you're going to hit a few cutscenes. So she'll be by a set of stones resting, and then you'll need to follow her to the end of the cliff. Okay, so at this point in the game, things are starting to take a interesting turn, and the artwork in the background just looks incredible all the time. But we need to make our way back towards the village, and our goal is to obviously go save our sister if you hadn't figured out at this point in time. So backtrack to the main village. Things are going to be a little bit different when you get back, and we need to start deploying some of our stealth approaches so that we don't get busted by the robots and killed. So unfortunately, I do die on my playthrough. However, like I said in the beginning, you can go back and chapter select and replay a chapter if something doesn't quite go to plan, and continue on from that point onwards. So just to do that, you just need to drop back to the main menu, open up the save file, and select from there. So this is our first stealth sequence, and we can actually crouch in the long grass. Our goal here is just to crouch in the long grass as the robot is passing over us so that we stay out of sight. It's a nice little simple kind of thing. The field of vision for that robot is determined by the blue light. If you're outside of it, it's not going to see you. If you're inside of it, it will see you. Stay crouched in the long grass to get out of sight, or get underneath something so that it cannot engage or kill you. Keep making your way right into the village, and as you come through the section, there is going to be a new gap in the boardwalk. You'll need to drop down and swim to the right. As you get to the end of the swimming section, Lana is going to automatically climb out of the water, and you're going to start to see some of the types of robots. So the first one we saw is kind of like a drone robot that we saw earlier, and then the second one is kind of like this spider-like thing. You'll see it here in this instance. This creature's line of vision is pretty much the direction of the blue circle on its front. It doesn't have like an up or down vision, and these enemies also don't respond to noise, so they're not they're not hearing robots, I would say, so you can run. You don't have to stay crouched the whole time. You can sprint through these sections. So eventually you're going to drop back into the water, and you need to keep swimming to the right. And we're going to come upon our first robot that is going up and down. For this one, we need to wait for it to fly upwards, and as it flies upwards, you'll be able to jump across to the other side outside of its field of view. Don't worry if you fall in. You can either swim to the left to get out of sight, or just clamber up. You've got enough time to do so. keep going right, and be used to me saying keep going right because that is the primary direction you go in. As you come up on this section, you're going to be introduced to a new mechanic. It's a case of pulling the boards off the wall. To do that, hold down the X button and then use the left stick just to rip the wood off. And also you've got to watch out for the robot on the other side, so only crouch through the gap when he's above the hut. Drop down below and crouch underneath the block just here. And this robot can see you, so it's going to be walking around on the top. You need for it to face the other direction and make your way underneath it. Again, remember you don't need to crouch, you can just run. And then wait for it to face the other direction before you exit out of this section and squeeze through the gap underneath the hut. If the robot spots you, try to get back into like a small area. They cannot break through those holes. In this part, just keep running and you'll eventually drop into the water and the robot above is not going to be able to see you. And then you want to keep making your way to the right. Now, as you come up onto this section, you are going to be required to pull some more wood off of the wall. And as you crouch in, there's going to be a new mechanic introduced, which is the rope swing. So, in this case, you can either just climb up or you can use it to swing. So to swing, you use the left and right of the analog stick, or you can just press up on your analog stick just to climb straight up. In this case, we don't actually need to swing, and then press the direction and the jump button for the way you want to get off. Keep on pushing forward. And after you've exited this cave, you just want to keep heading right for quite some time, and then it's going to move us over into chapter 2. Okay, so chapter 2 is now a go, and we're going to start finding collectibles from this chapter onwards. In most cases there is one collectible per chapter, and then there is the odd case where there is 2 in one chapter, but never more than 2. There's a grand total of 10 that we have to find. They are shrines, and shrines actually give you a little bit of a backstory. Not a huge amount, but they depict kind of the history of what's happened in the game leading up to these events. So kickstart off this with the classic directional walking, so we're going to keep going to the right and jumping where appropriate, and I'll regroup with you at the next key piece. Okay, so we're coming up with our first interaction with a living enemy. So these are not that common, but these are regular throughout. These like pig-like boar creatures that are around the area. You'll see it here walking down at the bottom. Same concept as the dealing with the robots. It is not very good for audio, and if you crouch in the grass, it's not going to see or hear you. So in this case, you want to just drop down in the first patch of grass when it's not looking the right way, and then move to the next set of grass and crouch down inside that so it doesn't spot you. And then once it turns around again for the third time, you just want to run off to the right. So again, keep heading right and we'll regroup at the next stage. So it's worth noting as well, when you're sliding, be sure to jump at the end, at the very last minute, otherwise you will fall down the hole and you'll have to replay the chapter. Okay, so we're now actually coming up on a puzzle, and this puzzle involves some form of a weight balancing with some of these boxes and the lift mechanism that we've just got here. So make your way over to this first box, and we want to grab that and drag that to the middle between the two lifts. The lifts are counterweighted to each other, so when you stand on one side, it will lift up the other lift. So hop up onto the left lift and it's going to pull it down. And then you want to grab the box and you want to start dragging that back to the left. And you want to hop on top of the box once you reach the end just here and jump to the left. There is another box at the top that we're going to go get our hands on. So squeeze to the tiny little gap and you want to grab that and throw this off the edge. Once you've done that, you want to drop down to the lower level. And then you want to make your way over to the right, and we're going to grab this box and drag it back to the middle between the two lifts. Once it's in the right place, we want to head left and we're going to grab the other box again, and we're going to drag that and place that on top of the first lift. Once that's on top, you want to hop on the middle box and you'll want to then jump onto the lift. That box is going to act as the counterweight, and then you want to hop on up to the next level. From here, start making your way further right. Okay, so we're now coming up on our next kind of puzzle and also walking in on our first collectible. You want to make your way down to the bottom, and there is going to be one of these pig creatures again. Press down to hang off the ledge that is directly in front of it, and that is going to cause it to bait and run towards you. Once it charges you, you want to jump over the top, run to the right, and then you want to jump over the gap so that you get a clearance, and he's going to run off the side and fall down the hole. You then want to keep making your way forward, so you want to drop down on this section here, shift yourself to the left and then drop down to the right, and we're going to make our way to the left hand side. I'll explain this new mechanic in a moment that you just saw there, but keep making your way to the left, and in here there is a secret cave. As you walk through, you will find shrine number 1 out of 10, and you'll bag yourself an achievement for picking one of these up. There is 1 achievement for each piece of the shrine that you collect, and then there is an achievement for finding all 10 shrine components. Once you've done that, make your way back out, and we want to grab hold of the dead pig, and we're going to use it as a weight. So what's actually happening here, these little yellow plants on the floor, or living animals, are connected to the other components around the map. So when you put weight or pressure on them, it will cause a ledge to extend. Once pressure comes off, the ledge will retract. So in this case, when we place the dead monster on top of the ledge, it causes it to stay out, and then we'll be able to climb up to the top and keep pushing right. Okay, so as you can see here, and the cutscene, our little friend has got himself trapped. We want to drop down into the area, and we want to grab the cube he's in, and we want to move that all the way to the right. I don't know if it's a he or a she, but the character is called Mui. Head to the left, and you want to climb up the ledge on the left hand side, and you're going to find these little switches, and you want to hold X and pull that to the right. That'll cause the cage to pop open, and the Mui cat is free. Make your way back over to the cage, and you want to hop up on the ledge to the right, and then on top of the cage, and then up one ledge higher, and keep pushing to the right following our new found friend. Okay, so as we come up on this section, we're going to have a bit of an accident. When we jump on the ledge ahead, the wood is just going to give way and we're going to fall down. So to get through this part, it's very simple. Make your way over to the left. You'll see these weakened wooden planks at the bottom. Climb up on the left hand side, drop onto the ledge, and they will break, allowing you to proceed through the tunnel and keep chasing down Mui. As yours and Mui's friendship grows, Mui's going to help you out from time to time. So in this scenario, you see Mui pushed it down the rope, and you get the new friend achievement at the same time for rescuing Mui. Keep following them along. I don't even know if I'm pronouncing its names right. If I'm doing it wrong, just let me know in the comment section, but I'm going to keep calling it Mui for the rest of this video. So keep heading right, and I will regroup with you at the next segment. So as we come into this section, our newfound friend is going to be in a spot of bother. So it's going to be chased by one of the robots, and it's going to step back into the cage. The cage is going to close on top of Mui, and he's now stuck. So we need to deploy our stealth tactics here. So when the robot is facing to the right, we can drop down from the upper grass to the grass that is down at the bottom. So wait for that robot to look to the right, and you want to drop down. So our goal is to get to the switch in the top right hand corner that we can see of our screen. So we need to drag the box that is holding Mui into the right place. So when the robot is not looking, we want to run out and grab the box and pull it to the right, and then run back to the grass into hiding, because we will not make it in time otherwise. Once the robot turns back to the right again, we want to turn around and hop on top of Mui's cage and to the ledge above, and make our way to the right. So hop on up and squeeze through the gap. Once you're up there, we actually need to time this correctly as well, so that Mui does not get killed by the robot. So only pull the switch when the monster is headed to the right. It will trigger the robot to go red. However, don't worry, he cannot get into the area because it's too big. So Mui's going to push down a rope. You want to climb on up, and you're going to make your way to the right hand side and keep going right, and I will regroup with you in a bit. So after you've taken the fall, and the robot scared you off, we're actually about to close out this chapter, but you're going to respawn in a familiar looking location, which is the area at the start of the game. Unfortunately, this is just a dream. Make your way to the left once you have stood back up. Now once you've made it to the similar section from earlier in the game, you want to grab the logs in the middle and move them to the left hand side. Once you've done that, climb up and keep following your sister, and eventually it will bring you into the next chapter.
Highlands na. Muhi koku. Muhi. Muhi. Chai mui. Ona la na. Meno. Pamalutiga mui. Olai. Ilo.
Okay, so this is chapter 3. A new friend, and we're going to kickstart with the most important achievement in the game, and that is to pet Mui. To do that, press the left trigger and press X. Once you've done it, you'll bag yourself a 40G achievement. I think this is mandatory anyway. You must pet every animal you see in a game. There is no more achievements for petting beyond more than one time. However, do as many petting things as you want. So kickstart this off by going in the classic direction of right and clearing the obstacles along the way, and I will regroup with you at the next key moment. Okay, so the game's going to introduce us now to some of the key mechanics for Mui and your friendship. Pressing B will cause Mui to stop, holding down B will cause Mui to resume following. So in this scenario, we want Mui to take a seat on the plants to keep the ledge extended. You want to run and jump to the other side and make your way up to the top and stand on the plants at the top for yourself. Then hold down the B button to summon Mui back. Mui is a great jumper, so you don't have to worry about anything like holes or high jumps. Usually Mui can make most of this. Now, once you've got that going, we want to keep heading to the right to the next part. Have Mui take a seat on the first set of flowers at the top just here, and then you'll want to do a run and jump to the other side and stand on the other patch of plants for Mui to get across. Summon Mui with the follow option, and he'll jump to the middle part and then up again. Have Mui take a seat on the plants that you're currently standing on to keep them extended. drop down to the ledge below and then hop to the left into the little enclave, and then you want to drop down underneath. Make your way to the right, and we're going to need to free Mui from the top because he cannot get down from up there. Hop up the ledge, and then to your left you're going to see a rope. Make sure that you climb up this rope, and you'll want to remove the boards that are blocking Mui's exit. And then once you've done that, bring Mui back to follow you by holding down the B button. And then you want to continue moving to the right. So climb down and head right.
Olay, Mui. Tiay.
So in addition to other mechanics for Mui, we can actually hold down the right trigger and use the left stick to point to a particular location that we want Mui to head to. In this case, have Mui jump up and then press Y for the rope to get pushed down. That'll allow you to climb up to the top. Be sure to ask Mui to follow you again once you have done that by holding down the B button.
Olay.
Mui can hear you from wherever you are, it doesn't matter. As long as you hold it down, they always resume following. Keep making your way right for a little cutscene. And when that cutscene is over, we're going to be introduced to another of Lana's mechanics, which is where we can hang down and drop to the ledge below, but then kick off of the wall to jump to the right. So press down on your left stick, press down on your left stick again to drop, and then left and A to jump in the direction that you choose. Keep making your way to the right, and I will regroup with you at the next puzzle. Okay, so now we are coming up onto a potential area where Mui can die, so we need to be cautious. So crouch under the rock here, and you're going to see this big rock is going to come to life. Don't let Mui stay near this rock because it's going to snatch him up and eat it. So make your way over to the right hand side and squeeze into the little cave with Mui. Have Mui wait, and the rock is going to sit down and leave him alone. You want to make your way over to the left hand side, crouch back underneath, don't jump like I do. For some reason I mix up the left trigger and the A button because I'm no good at games. But climb up the ledge that is just on where you entered. And then you want to do a run and jump to the top of the rock monster and then onto the ledge just ahead. Now, the rock monster is quite slow, so we can call Mui back and Mui will be able to jump up to the ledge in time. So the creature will not get enough time to grab him. Once you've done that, you want to start making your way over to the right hand side, as per usual, and we're going to have the Mui do a biting action. So where you see these little ropes, you want to press Y, Mui's going to bite through it. Mui does stop following you after biting the rope, so you will need to call Mui back. But we want to keep making our way to the right, and then give instruction to go stand next to the plants over here. And that's going to cause the ledge to extend. Climb up on the ledge and then call Mui back to your side. And we're also now about to come up on our next collectible. So keep making your way right. However, before you get a collectible, we need to solve a little puzzle first of all. So this is another mechanic of Mui's. We want to send Mui to stand by the hole. And then you want to press the Y button. And that's going to cause Mui to transfer to a different hole in the area. So the two tunnels are connected. This is going to cause your ledge to extend on the right hand side, allowing you to jump across. Stand on the plants on the other side and call Mui back. Be careful, I nearly made a bit of a mistake here I think, where I got off of the plants too early and killed Mui. So don't move too quickly, make sure that Mui gets the opportunity to jump. Keep heading right, and as you're going right we're walking into our next puzzle. So it involves climbing up to the top, so we want to make our way right. Ignore the case just for now. We're going to hop up to the top left hand rope and make our way to the end. Now you're going to need to grab the cart and shift it to the left. Hop on top of the cart and then hop on the ledge to your left hand side. Have Mui wait by the wire thing just here, but make your way over to the left hand side. This is shrine number 2 out of 10 that you'll need to collect, and you'll also bag yourself an achievement for finding this one at the same time. And this is quite an easy one to find. Some of the other ones are actually quite brutally hidden, particularly one of the ones in the swamp and one of the ones in the dark cave. Have Mui snip through the wire, and that's going to free up the cart and allow you to move it. So we want to drag that as far to the right as possible. These blue panels on the floor will turn off electricity in the area, or turn it on, but anything that goes and puts pressure on it will turn it off. So in this case, we don't want to turn it off just yet, so hop up on top of the cart and then right past the broken switch. And we're going to pull the boards off the wall just here, and then have Mui stand by the cable, but do not let Mui bite the cable because it will kill Mui. As you can see, it is currently electrified. Make your way back to the cart and drag the cart to the left hand side. That is going to turn off the electricity, and that makes it safe for Mui to bite through the cable. And that's going to set free the box at the bottom. Make your way to the right, and you want to drag that to the right hand side and use that to climb up on the ledge and keep pushing right till you get to your next segment. Okay, so we are coming up on our next enemy encounter, and it's one of our classic spider bots. This one's relatively easy to get past. We need to go underneath it, so it's going to be the classic case of it's walking left and right. When it looks to the right, drop down to the grass below. You can go directly underneath it, and then when it heads to the left, you can jump up the ledges just here. I cut it a little bit fine. You can hide in the grass at the bottom if you want to, but just make your way over to the right. He won't be able to get to you though. He'll get stuck on the wall if you're underneath the crouch ledge. So keep heading right, and we are going to start making our way towards our next collectible.
Hola.
Okay, so as we enter this section just here, you want to make your way into the middle piece, and we want to grab hold of the wood just in here. Keep pulling it to right, and then we're going to be able to hop up on the ledges. So once you're doing that from here, and Mui jumps up, there's another one of those rock monsters. So have Mui wait just here where the rock monster can't reach him. Go to the right hand side, and you want to crouch under the gap just at the bottom, and then continue to the right, climb up on the rock, and then up on the ledge just above you, and keep making your way to the left. Okay, so our next collectible is directly above us, so don't throw the crate off the cliff just yet. Crouch underneath the wooden boards, and as you get to this section, you'll want to hop up on the box. As you hop up on the box, there is a tiny little outcrop that you can barely see. As you hop up, you are going to find your next shrine. And that is going to put us a grand total of 3 out of the 10 shrine pieces. You'll also get an achievement for finding this one. Now we need to solve the puzzle in the area. So once you've got that, you want to drop back down to the box. From here, you want to throw the box off the side. It's going to fall down. And you want to drag that as far to the right as possible. It's going to hit a bump where it cannot go up any higher, where we need it to get higher. Call Mui back to you, and it's going to cause the monster underneath to walk underneath you, and it's going to raise the block up and the ledge, and continue to pull that to the right. Once you've done that, you want to hop up on the box, then you want to hop up on the ledge above you, and then keep going to the right hand side. And you'll need to keep dropping down these sections. So keep pushing right from this point onwards. We're getting very close to the end of this chapter. Duck under this little section here. Instruct Mui to climb up to the yellow plants to extend the ledge on the left. Go from here and continue onwards, and you'll want to hop up on the left ledge and then jump to the right to the newly extended one. And then climb over the top, jump over Mui, and then give Mui a call back to come and follow you. Also coming up on a section where we're going to encounter another robot. So to get past this one, we're going to need to deploy some diversion tactics. So squeeze through into the grass. Don't walk out in the grass like I nearly did into the open when I was doing this on my first run. Give the robot a moment or two to synchronize. And our goal here, and apologies for the cut, is because I did actually die at this point in time. Our goal is to utilize the hole that is in the middle here, which is connected to the hole in the grass. So run forward to the other side and have Mui take a seat on the hole in the grass. You can't really see it very well. Now, what you need to do is have Mui jump into the hole and act as a decoy. So the robot's now going to turn around and see Mui. Have Mui jump back into the hole so he moves through to the long grass. And you want to make your way to the right as the robot is inspecting the hole. Send Mui up to the very top where the wire is, just with these hanging ropes and logs. And he's going to stay up there and he's going to bite that for us in a moment. We're going to stay hidden in the grass so the robot doesn't spot us. Now you'll want to make your way over to the right hand side. You'll see that little ledge sticking up, and we want to stand outside of that ledge just for a little bit, just to get the robot's attention. Once the robot has the attention, crouch under and go into the grass, and then have Mui bite the rope, and that is going to cause the logs to squash the robot. Climb on top and then make your way to the right. This is also going to conclude chapter number 3, and we're going to regroup in chapter 4. Okay, so chapter 4, Secrets in the Darkness. Probably the darkest level in the game, and there's no brightness adjustments that we can apply. El Ghetto was a little bit brighter for me when I recorded this, but it will be quite dark as you go through here. So one of the main mechanics is, again, having Mui interact with plants will cause the area to light up, making it a little bit easier for you to see any potential threats that are coming your way. So have Mui sit on the plants to give you enough light to move across. And as you come up into this, where the area with the second light is just here, this is incredibly well hidden, but bring Mui to sit on the plants just in the middle. And it's going to partially light up the left hand side a little bit. And you want to make your way back, and you'll see a rope hanging down directly in front of you. It's incredibly well hidden. This was the last collectible that I actually found in the game on my practice run. Climb up to the top here and you're going to find your next shrine, and that is going to put you at shrine 4 out of 10. Once you've done that, you want to make your way back down. You'll also bag yourself an achievement along the way for finding this one, and I apologise for the dodgy cut coming up in the second because I did fall down a hole by mistake. Just a reminder, if you have cases of bad gaming like where I do, you can reboot the chapter from the beginning and replay it from there. So make your way to the right, and you want to have Mui follow you again once you are clear and it's nice and well clear of the obstacles that are ahead. And as you come into this section to the right, there's going to be another place for Mui to sit. Have him take a seat on top of the little blue crystals again to light the area up. It must be some form of like transistor or something because he's pretty powerful. Keep going to the right, and then there's going to be a little gap. You'll need to instruct him to go to the other side, and that is going to light the area up, and you're going to see a hidden rope on your left that you're going to be able to climb up and swing to the top. Once you've done that, continue on to the right, making sure that you call Mui back to your side. Okay, so as we come into this section, we're going to encounter a new monster. This monster is afraid of light, so you want to make your way across to this side just here. Now on the other side there's going to be a hole. Have Mui take a seat on the hole, don't just trigger it yet. And then Lana needs to climb back down the rope, and the monster is going to spot Lana and make a charge. Climb back up the rope just for a little bit of safety. Have Mui hop through the hole, that is going to cause the area to light up. And then, as you'll see, this spider-like thing will not go past the crystal. It will retract when it gets near it. So this is going to buy you some time to move across to the other side. It's not going to stay lit up forever because we need to move Mui. So be ready. But what you need to do is hop up. Don't deactivate the light a little bit too early like I did. But hop up to the other side and you'll be able to pull the boards off where Mui is held captive. And then at the top we need to instruct Mui to go up and press Y to drag the rope down from the top. Once you've done that, climb up and continue on to the right. As we come up on this section here, there is going to be a big complex door directly in front of us that only our friend Mui can unlock. So send Mui up to the top, and once Mui is up there, press the Y button to trigger this piece. And we are going to get some useful things along the way. So, and we've also got a pretty big puzzle coming up, probably one of the best puzzles in the game. But once the door is open, proceed right. And you're going to see these little pods of green stuff going on as you're walking forward. There's no immediate danger as you're going through this section, just keep moving. And we need to pay attention to one of the bigger versions of that pod to help solve the problem that is ahead. So keep moving forward. So as you come into this section, I think the answer is the same throughout the thing, but you'll see this large mural on the wall, and then at the top left hand corner you will see this kind of picture of what looks like a bench with some dots. You need to take note of that symbol because it is a clue for the next room. And down in the bottom right hand corner you'll see a symbol with a bench with 2 additional things on the top right hand side, but also some dots. Pay attention to the dots because they or either grab a picture on your phone, but pay attention to those dots because they're going to be important for us to solve a puzzle in a moment's time. Because as you come into this room you'll see this pretty awesome looking puzzle with some pipes, and those little bench pictures that are mentioned reflect these little yellow wooden things that are on these pipes, and the dots, as you can see, they represent what was also depicted in the picture. We need to get those items adjusted to their correct location. Now you'll see there's 4 and we only have information for 2. So climb up the left hand side and have Mui sit on the crystals just at the top here to reveal our next clue. So once Mui is in place, make your way to the right and you'll see just directly above you there is your next clue. And then we're going to go after also our other clue for our final piece. So you want to drag these logs and you'll see it painted on the wall directly behind you. So as you can see, the shapes reference the switches on the pipes and we need to make sure that they are in the correct place. So we need to adjust them accordingly. So it's going to take a little while. I mean, obviously you can go back and revisit the other room if you need to, or move the logs again. But starting off with this first one, we want to drag it so that it is 2 dots on the left hand side and 1 dot next to the right hand foot on the inside. Make your way up to this next one in the middle on the left hand side. And we want to drag that all the way to the left, so there's 2 dots underneath and 2 dots to the right. Make your way up to the top right hand corner and we want to drag this one so that it is 2 dots underneath and 3 dots to the left. And then we want to make our way up to the top left hand corner. Now unfortunately at this time I had a bit of a blip and I'd forgotten what was behind the log, so I dropped back down. So don't do what I do, you can just stay up there. You don't have to follow us, just give forward just maybe a few seconds. But the solution to this one is having 1 dot behind to the left of the left leg and 1 dot underneath. Once you've got all of the sliders or whatever it is they are in place, you want to make your way over to that rope and you're going to swing on that rope to open the door on the left hand side. So as we said, 1 dot to the left of the leg and then head to the rope, swing on it, call our pal Mui back as well at the same time. Stay on the rope until the bells have been rung on the pipes, and that is going to trigger the door to open and you want to make your way up there. Now once you've done that, you're going to make your way up through the door, and inside is going to be a little artifact that we need to pick up. It's also going to get you an achievement. You can't miss this because it's story related as you need to move forward, and it's going to give the special abilities to our good pal Mui. Mui will get the ability to hypnotize enemies. There's certainly, from what I can see, some inspiration called on from the old Abe's Odyssey, Abe's Exodus, the whole Oddworld kind of quintology thing for hypnotizing and kind of possession of enemies. And some of the enemies also look a little bit like paramites, so I can see the kind of, you know, the inspiration there. So from that point onwards, you want to start making your way to the right, and we're getting near to the end of this chapter. And just to give Mui's new skill a go, have him press Y. So you press Y by these little vines, you hold down the right trigger in the left stick and you'll be able to use Mui to lure the vines out of the way so that they open up for a temporary period of time. Cross over the gap, send Mui into the hole and have him sit just on these little bits just here. Now be careful here, I fell on my first time. You need to hang down, do not jump, and you want to grab hold of the ledge just on the edge and then jump over to the other side. So my friend Mui back and then keep making your way to the right. Next up we're going to encounter some caterpillars and we need them to open their eyes. Now these caterpillars will close their eyes if it is too bright in the area. So have yourself and Mui climb up to the top left hand corner, and we need Mui to hypnotize the top caterpillar. So have Mui stare it in the eye, and we want to hold down the right trigger and right on the left analog stick, and that is going to close the light gap above us. And as you can see, by wiggling the stick, you're causing the caterpillar to move backwards and forwards. Have Mui follow you back down to the bottom. You can see the eye for the lower caterpillar is now opened. Have Mui interact with that caterpillar. I don't know what, for some reason it wasn't working straight off the bat. And then use Mui to lure this caterpillar towards him. Don't worry, it's not going to cause him any harm. These things are docile and they cannot attack him once they're in this hypnotic mode. Climb up to the ledge above, keeping Mui on the hypnotizing job, and then move the caterpillar back into the hole. So that's going to cause it to create a ledge that you can climb on to get up to the top level. Right. And then you want to summon Mui back to work with you, and then climb up and continue to press right. And I believe this is the end of chapter 4, going into chapter 5. So our next chapter is called The Highlands, chapter 5. This is a relatively short chapter in comparison to the rest of the other ones we've kind of experienced so far. There is a collectible for us to also grab in this chapter. We want to keep making our way to the right once we've exited the cave, and I will regroup with you at the next kind of puzzle or key moment in the game. Okay, so once we're at the bottom of the slope, we are going to need to do some moving around. So I have Mui sit on the plants just on the right hand side to extend the ledge above. Grab the container and drag it exactly to the middle. And then we're going to throw the switch just here, and that is going to cause it to rise up. It's going to give it an additional platform for us to make our way across. Hop on up at the rocks by using the left hand ledges, keeping Mui where he is at this point in time. Once you've hopped onto that ledge and you want to hop on to the outcrop, then once you are on the rocks, have Mui jump back up and join you by holding down the B button. You should be able to make the jump quite easy. Continue right, and we are walking into our next puzzle. Also, we're going to be directly near our next collectible, and this is very well hidden. I like it in games where these collectibles are hidden in clever manners. It makes it a bit more of a challenge. It's actually on our right hand side, so you want to hop onto the rope, and it's not very obvious at all, but there is a ledge amongst all of that green stuff on the wall. Swing to the right and jump towards it, climb on up and then squeeze on through, and you are going to find your next shrine. That is going to put you at a total of 5 out of 10 shrines. We are halfway there. Make your way back into the area and we're going to resume our puzzling. Okay, so we need to use the rope. We're going to swing left and right, and we want to hop to the ledge on the left hand side. Unfortunately, our pal Mui cannot get up here without any assistance. It is far too high. He can't climb like we can. Make your way to the left. There's going to be this lift. Jump on it and you will be acting as a weight. You can summon Mui up if it's a little bit easier, but the logs are going to counterweight and lift Mui up to the right place that we need him. Once you've done that, you want to hop onto the ledge, back onto the rope and swing up, and then summon Mui back to your location. And once you're up there, we're going to make a jump to the ledge above, and we're going to continue to climb up. So hop up the ledge, call Mui back at the same time. You need Mui to pull the rope down from the top right hand side, so point and press Y. And once you've done that, hop on up and continue to press right.
Hola y muy.
Okay, so we're coming up on our next danger zone, and we are going to be having an interesting time with this robot just here. So this robot's going to spend most of its time actually on that upper ledge. It only comes down if it needs to get back up to the top because it cannot jump high enough. So make your way to the centerpiece directly underneath it when it's at the top, and we're going to need Mui to jump over to the hole when the robot is not looking. So point to the other side, and then once the robot turns around, have Mui hop on over to the hole, and we're going to use Mui as bait to distract the robot. So there is, once he's in place, you want to press the Y button, and that's going to bait the robot off, and you need to run to the left hand side and climb up. Our goal is to go up and around. So once Mui is in position, the robot's going to turn around, and you'll want to press Y, and it's going to draw the robot's attention. You can do this in one sweep, or you can hide in the grass just on the left hand side, but the robot's pretty slow. It's whether you want to play with fire or not. Now Mui's in a safe spot because he is in the grass on the left hand side. Press Y to summon him back through the hole, and again get the robot's attention if you need to. And then have Mui jump back in so he goes into hiding, and then hop to the top. Wait for the robot to get out of the way because he will grab you otherwise. Continue, run and jump, and then make your way down into the grass and call Mui back to your side. Keep moving to the right. To hit this section, have Mui hypnotize the weeds or the grass, and that's going to cause the door to open, and we are going to progress forward into chapter 6, which is called the Swamp.
Hola.
Okay, so we are in the swamp level, and there are 2 collectibles to find in this area. 2 very well hidden collectibles again. So using its environment to hide the situation. Kickstart this off by making our way to the right, and you'll soon very quickly learn that Mui is intimidated by water and needs additional help with this stuff. So push to the right and you'll have a little cutscene. So to get Mui comfortable with the water, we need to find the appropriate flotation device. So swim right, and you'll notice at the top there is a log that you can pull into the water. So move your way to the right and hop up to the log just above. You can actually grab things that are in the water and swim along with them to keep them dragging. So start off by dragging this down. Once you hit the water level, jump back into the water, and when you're swimming, keep the X button held down and you'll be able to move the log. So drag this back over towards our friend, and once you're close by Mui, you can have Mui hop on to the log and then repeat in reverse. You can swim Mui whilst he's on the log back to the other side. So have him hop on by resuming to follow you, and then drag him to the other side.
Hola.
Okay, so once you're back over to the other side, have Mui hop on up and push down the rope so you can climb up and continue going to the right.
Hola.
Okay, so we're going to come up on our next collectible now, and that is down below in the bottom right hand corner. So drop down into the water, and you want to keep swimming to the right. Be sure Mui stays here. I had a bit of a weird bug where he jumped into the water last time, but swim to the right hand side. And in these leaves just here, you want to crouch down and continue to move forward. A very well hidden shrine is at the end of this. Make your way in and give that a quick grab, and then make your way back out again. Now that you're back up to the top, there is the little yellow flowers that you see in the middle of the water. So swim your way out and you want to go underneath them. That is going to extend the ledge that is on the left hand side. Give Miri a call and he's going to jump on over and then drop down to you. He won't stay put on the middle piece. Climb up out of the water on the right hand side. Direct Miri to stand in the middle. Once he's in the middle, then use the extended ledge to get to the right hand side and keep moving to the right. Okay, as we reach this section, we are going to be introduced to a new mechanic, which have Mui hypnotize this little worm-like thing on the other side, and this is going to control whether the ability to drain or fill the water is going to kind of happen. So you move Mui forward, Mui backwards, and the water will drain or refill. Apologies, it's taking my little while to get to that. To fill the water up, swim to the other side, and then you want to have Mui step back and drain all the water. Once all the water is drained, have Mui come back to you. So in the next section, have Mui drop the vine down, and we're going to go after our next collectible. So once the vine is there, climb on up, and you're going to make your way to the right. We need to make our way down to the bottom area of this section. So as you continue to the right, hang down, or you can just jump, doesn't really matter. There's water at the bottom, and you're going to just land into that. Doesn't really change the situation. You can't proceed to the right. Now that you're down here, swim to the left hand side and you'll be able to go off screen through the tiny little gap, and there is another shrine on the end. Once you are done with that one, you want to make your way back outside. That is shrine 7 out of 10 total. Once you're out of here, we're going to go help our friend out again. So make your way to the stone that is just on this side. You're going to see a vine ahead of you. Use that vine to swim to the top section, and you want to pull the boards off. Call Miri back to you, and then you want to start making your way over to the vines on the right hand side. Once you're there, have Miri pull the vines open. It's going to crack it open and you'll be able to progress forward. And as you come to the right and you come into this section, jump to the ledge below and continue over the stepping stones. And now for our next puzzle. It's not too hugely complicated, but jump into the water below and you want to make your way to the far right hand side of this area. Once you're on the far right, you want to turn around and use the rope that is hanging from the tree to jump to the ledge on the left, and you want to use that to cross back to the other side, so you're on the upper level above Mui. Once you're above Mui, use the rope that is at the top and then drop down and smash the ledge below. And that is going to open up the pathway to the caterpillar down below. Bring in your pal Mui, get him to come back, and then have him hypnotize the caterpillar that is in the area just here. The caterpillars will actually run away from you if you're too close, but just put a bit of distance between you and them, and then that should set you up to be able to possess them. Drain the water from this area and then drop down to the water section below. Once you've done that, you want to make your way to the far right. Now when you reach this cave down below, have Mui fill the water back up, so he needs to stay hypnotized with the caterpillar. Grab hold of the log that is in this section and you want to drag it all the way as far left as possible. Now once you reach this rock just here, you want Mui to drain the water so you can get the log underneath, and then keep pulling it to the far left until it's close enough for Mui to jump on. As you get to the section, you want to move this all the way over and you want to have Mui jump on board, and then you want to drag that to the right. And once this is done, you just want to navigate over to the other side completely. And when you're there, have Mui make eye contact with the vines, open those up and proceed to the right. We're pretty much getting to the end of this chapter now, and we're going to push through into chapter 7. So as you make your way to the right, we should be coming to a close. And when you reach this segment, you'll want to hop on top of the old, I think it's like a spacecraft or something, but jump onto the top and make your way off to the right hand side, and that is the final part of this level. You'll also get an achievement for finding this thing. So this is chapter 7, so there's no collectibles in this chapter. However, there's a decent amount of backstory that you're going to get through the things that kind of happen here. So you're going to kick this off. We're going to start making our way into the center area, and you're going to find this button. Give that a quick press and then make your way to the right hand side, and I'll regroup with you at the next puzzle or segment. So as we come into this section just here, as you slide down, there is going to be an electrical panel, and our friend Mui is going to help us out by pressing some buttons for us. So he's getting better at this kind of thing. You'll see here that is an electrical panel. Do not jump on top of it, as you can probably gather what will happen. It's not a good thing. Have Mui touch the button that is underneath, and that is going to turn it off. And once that's off, you'll be able to mantle over the top and make your way to the right hand side and keep moving forward. Okay, so after that segment we are going to slide a bit further down, and we're going to be in an area where there is one of those classic monsters. Now we need to get past this guy. There is an electric panel on the floor that is going to fry him, as you can see. So we need our friend Mui to turn that button on and off at the right time, and we're going to be the bait for this situation. So the spider is very quick on its toes and it will respond once you come down, but when it's facing the other direction, take a run and jump. And the moment you are clear of the panel, have Mui press the button to electrocute the enemy, killing it off. Turn the button off and then have Mui regroup back to you and pass the rope down so that you can continue right. As we come into this next section, we are going to be playing with some extendable bridges. So make your way to the very end. You want to press the button that is just here, and that is going to extend a bridge out for you. Have Mui wait by the button and make your way over to the right hand side, and you need to be above the girder below. Have Mui press the button and drop down to the section. Call Mui back, and from here just be a little bit careful because it's quite high up. Hang and drop down so that you don't potentially off yourself. Go to the right and keep moving forward. And as we enter this section, we are going to be faced with a puzzle that can actually kill us. So first of all, we want to start this off by climbing to the top. And we're going to have Mui wait by the button. Do not press it just yet, as it's not going to be very helpful. Grab the little thing at the bottom, just here, and drag that into the water. And then make your way to the far hand right side and do the same thing. Move the other one into the water. Now make sure you're clear of the water and have Mui press the button at the top, and that is going to light up the room. And you want to press X on the button on the right hand side to extend the bridge. Don't go back into the water, have Mui press the button at the top again, and it's going to turn the electricity off. And that's going to allow you to cross over back to the other side safely and keep the bridge extended. Once you've done that, jump up on top of the bridge and keep moving to the right and bring your friend Mui with you. Once you're in this section, have Mui hop up and knock the rope down, and you need to climb to the top. And again, I believe you keep going right. As we come up into this section, we're going to get rid of something useful. There is going to be a gift given to Lana, and that's going to allow Lana to take control of the robots through the use of certain mechanisms. So this is going to be a key mechanic for helping us out with the rest of the game. Be sure to pick that up from the UFO thing. You'll notice the robots come to life because that's responding to the stone that is inside it. This is something that's going to be very useful for us as we progress forward. Go right. Surprise, surprise. As you enter the section, you want to jump onto the lift. Now, just to warn you, it's going to break and it will always go down, no matter whatever you do. It's broken from the get-go, as it's dilapidated, but it's going to bring you and Mui down to the lower level. However, we can control it. It just doesn't stay where we want it to stay. So, once it's down at the bottom, we want to hop off. And we're going to use this lift to solve the puzzle. So on the left hand side you'll see this little white switch at the screen. I think I take a pause here to read my notes, I apologise. But hop on over to the button. And when you're in control of this button, you'll be able to move the lift around to different places. So we're going to start off by taking the lift to the end of this ledge, because we're going to use it to get underneath. So move it to the right. Given the fact that the ledge is on a timer, we need to be conscious of that. So winch up the ledge as high as possible. Hold down X to release the button on the left hand side, and we're going to make our way up to the top. Now, once you're at the top section just here, make your way to the very end, and we've got to do a spot of timing here with our jump. So when the lift is in the right position, jump onto it, and then we want to jump to the left of the switch underneath. Now once we get into this section, you don't have to throw this switch immediately, however you can do. I got a little bit excited. It will close the panel on the right hand side, but that's not a big issue. We do actually need this switch to be on. So go to the left hand side and we want to pull the grating off the wall just here. Crouch underneath and we're going to climb, bring Mui with us. And we're going to need Mui to actually get on top of this lift. So apologies for the jumping around here, I get a little bit lost. Probably just more of my thumbs not doing the right job. But you want to point to the ledge below, have Mui sit in the middle of the lift, and then make your way over to the button. We've got a bit of a timed sequence here to make sure that we don't accidentally kill Mui in the process, but take control of the lift. Winch Mui up, and then there's going to be this kind of like half stable bridge here with a electrical wire. We need Mui to bite that wire, but not right at this time. So get Mui in line and winch Mui up to the top. Hold X to release the button, and we're going to need to make our way over to the electrical switch to turn it off. So jump over to the middle again, throw the switch, and hopefully if it's timed correctly, Mui's going to be able to bite through the wire by pressing Y, and that is going to release the upper bridge for you to get down. You can now turn back on the power because we need the bridge to jump from one side to the other. So make your way back to the button, and we need to line up the bridge inside the middle of the gap. So we can leave Mui where they are, it doesn't change anything. But line Mui up in the lift to the middle, make sure you've got adequate jumping distance, bring the lift to the top, and then release the button and make your way to the upper section of these platforms. Wait for the lift to be in the right place at the right time and jump across to the bridge on the other side and keep moving right. Now once this is over and you're on the other side, push forward and we're going to go into the longest chapter in the game. So as we enter this section, you're going to make our way over to the right. We're going to be represented back to the robots, and this level is called the Ocean for reference, and it is chapter number 8. There are no collectibles in this level. Make your way to the right hand side. You want to duck into the grass because we've got one of our classic flying robots, and we're going to get the experience eventually of taking control of one of these. When the coast is clear, make your way to the right and you're going to see a switch down at the bottom. You'll need to pull the cover off to access the button, and then when you tap into this button, it is going to give you control of the drone. The drone will fly when you press the right trigger. By default, it's now completely switched off, but you control it when you press the right trigger, you bring it back to life. It's not going to attack you anymore. Land it on the flowers at the top to extend the bridge. Release the button and then climb up. Once you're up, you want to make your way over to the right hand side. As you come to the end of the section, there's going to be a boat at the end, and that is the end of chapter 8. Now we're going to move through into chapter number 9. So as I said to you guys, that was the longest chapter in the game. It really isn't. So we're going to kickstart this one off actually with a collectible. So chapter 9 has one straight off the bat. It's to the left. Now normally the game would want you to go to the right, but make your way into the water and keep swimming as far left as possible. That is going to put you over to shrine number 8 out of 10 in the game. You are getting close to having all of the collectibles done and dusted. Once you have this collectible, you'll need to swim back, for obvious reasons. And you'll want to keep heading right until your next puzzle or enemy encounter.
Hola.
Okay, so as we come into the section, Mui is going to need to do a spot of possession on the pig-like thing. Send him through and then hold down Y to take control. Have the creature step backwards until it stands on the yellow flowers to extend the ledge next to you. Mui needs to stay in eye contact, so don't break it just yet. Climb up and over the top. And you'll want to hop up on the right ledge, and we're going to need Mui to hop up and push the rope down. But once you're clear, hold down the B button or the Y button to return Mui back to your location. It is going to cause the animal to be a bit dazed and confused, so it buys Mui some time just to get clear. Once you've got the rope down, head on up and keep pressing right. So as you come into this section, we're going to have a bit of a weird cut scenario because unfortunately I did kill myself by not paying attention. So have Mui pass down the rope. Don't make the mistake I did. You need to immediately hide in the grass at the top. I apologise for the dodgy cut because the robot shot me in the head. So take a cover in the grass just here. Now to get past this robot, we need for it to head to the right, but there's not very much coverage in this area. So once it's not looking at the grass, make your way to the right, drop down and then take cover under the little outcrop of rock just here. And then you're going to need to move and run to the right very quickly. At the end, jump straight over the gap, and we will also have another encounter with the robot shortly afterwards. So once you're in this section, take immediate cover. You'll notice one of the benefits here of these robots, they can shoot these creatures that are in the long grass. Do not enter that blue part, the grass when it's got the little tentacles pointing above it. There is a creature living in there that will kill you. When you stand on the roots that are sticking out of the ground, it will slow you down. So be quick, jump out of them or jump over them as best as you can to avoid any problems. And when the robot has cleared the way, you want to make your way to the right and you want to duck under the little gap just here. Now as you come into the section, Mui is going to need to jump up above you. And we're also going to be hunting after our first collectible. Don't cross that grass thing in the middle because you're going to get hurt. So get the cable down first of all. Once you're on top, we're going to use the rope to swing and clear as much of this as possible. Be careful not to land in the middle because it will backfire. As you do that, you want to crouch under the gap, and we're going to find a button mechanism. So pull the cover off, hit the button, and we're going to take control of one of the key things. So one of the robots, not the key things, one of the robots. So once you're in control of the machine, use the right trigger to move the little thing around. So you want to make your way over the top, fly past our friend. In the middle of the grass, hover the robot over, and it's going to shoot the creature in the grass. Continue to the right, you'll see another set of grass where you can do the same thing. Right again, and there is going to be another one. And on the upper ledge, there's also another one. Then use the robot to fly up as high as possible. You're going to go past the shrine we need to get to, but left of that shrine is some yellow flowers. Land a little robot on top of it, and that is going to extend the ledge that we need to climb up higher. Return back to Lana and make your way to the left hand side and swing up to where our friend Muri is. Once you're up there, hop up the ledge on the left hand side, then jump up the right, and then follow the top ledge as far as you can across, and that is going to be collectible 9 out of 10. We have just one more to go, and that is in the next chapter. Once you've done that, make your way back down to the bottom, go to the right and past the plants that you just killed.
Hola.
So as we come into this section, we want to hop up onto the rocks, and our friend Muri, as we all know, they are not interested in swimming in water. So when you get to the top, you want to jump and you want to swing to the other side, and you're going to climb up the little outcrop just here. The log we require is actually just below us, so make your way to the end and drop down into the water below. It's deep enough to cover the situation. Swim to the left, and we have to move the log off of the rope for the ledge to fall down. So grab it, pull it over, that's going to drop the panel, and then we can take the log and bring it back to our friend Muri. And we need to drag Muri across the first patch of water, the island in the middle, and the second patch of water. So bring Muri down and get Muri on board with the situation.
Hola. Ima. Hola. Toma aqui.
So once you're on the other side, you'll need Muri to pass down the rope to call in the favour. And once you're done, climb up and keep moving right.
Hola.
just be conscious in this section you don't do what I do and completely run out there. You can actually duck and take cover in this, but the timing worked out pretty well for me. We have to dodge a robot that is flying through this area. You need to go underneath the hut. You can also use the grass to hide, but I just ran straight through without thinking. But duck and cover into the grass just here. So this next puzzle is a little bit tricky. Either you or Mui can get shot quite easily. So first make your break under the rock, and you want Mui to take possession of the hog-like creature on the end. So send Mui out to do the job and hypnotize the pig. Now, as your character, you want to edge to the far left of the rock. Just don't go out into the line of sight of the robot, and use Mui to lure the pig creature back to kind of where that robot is, because you can probably figure out what's going to happen next. We're going to use the pig as a counterweight for some things, so make sure the robot is not in the line of sight, and you want to lead the robot onto the little flowers just here. And Mui should be able to make it into the grass whilst the pig stands on the flowers. Wait just here, and the robot is going to come through and it's going to take out the pig, and the pig is going to serve as the permanent weight fixture to hold up that first ledge on those flowers. Now once the robot is clear, call Mui back and have Mui stand on the second patch of flowers, and you want to climb up to the very top. As you can see up by the pole just here, there is one of the switches for taking control of the robot, so make your way over to that. Once you have control of that robot, move that up to the top, and you want to land it in the center. And as it lands into the center, it is going to extend the rod on the left hand side. You'll need to release the button, and we need to get Mui to come see you at the top, so call Mui back. Once you're at the top, you want to actually have Mui stand on the flowers in place of the robot, so make sure it's pointed at the ground, not the top of the robot, because Mui can actually sit on the robot. Return to the switch and take control of the drone again, and we want to land the drone in the middle flowers down on the bottom right hand side, so bring it down to the bottom and land them just here. Once you've done that, you want to hop up to the ledge above. Apologies for the cut there, because I actually had a bug and the game crashed out on me, but make your way to the top. Mui's going to be sat on the patch of plant at the top. You can call Mui back now, and you want to jump over to the other side. Have Mui hypnotize the vines, and then you'll want to keep pressing to the right into our next section.
Hola, Mui.
As we enter this section, you want to drop down to the ledge below. We're going to have to do some more water draining. So have Mui take control of the caterpillar. Get him to wait beside it, and then to hypnotize it, so we can drain and control the water in this area. And drain the water out, and that is going to make a little bit of space for us to continue forward. So wait for the robot to shift to the top area before you go swimming underneath. I noticed there's a bit of an odd colour change with my Elgato at this point in time. I don't know why, but the colour is a bit deeper at this point. So when you're in the water, you want to swim underneath the first one. The second drone is going to be hopping up and over the ledge, so wait for it to get out of the way, and as it gets out of the way, you'll be able to make your way to the middle, out of sight. The log we're looking for is actually above us on the ledges above, so we're going to work our way towards getting that. Keep shipping to the right. As you get to the end, we're going to make our way up, and to do that we need for Mui to refill some of the water in the section. You can't jump high enough. I attempted to, then realized that it wasn't actually possible. So have Mui refill some of the water in this section, because he should still be in control of the actual caterpillar. This is going to allow you to get out of the water. Once you're out of the water, then you also want to drain the water again, because as you'll notice, the robots will not progress down as far if the water is present. Otherwise it would end up probably breaking them. So keep making your way left, and you want to jump through and use the long grass for cover. On the next ledge across, you will see that there is a log. So again, take cover in the grass, wait for that robot to ship to the left and go back down. Grab that log and pull it to the left and throw it down into the water below. And once you've done that, you're going to need to get into the water yourself. The easiest way to do that is through the gap on the right. Just drop down, swim over to the log, and you need to bring it to the left so Mui can get on board. Now for Mui to get on board, you do need to refill a certain section of the water, and as it goes up, call him down, and he will hop onto the log. For some reason I have a little bit of problem with getting him to function. Maybe it's my hands on the buttons. You do need to drain the water a little bit as well. I don't think it actually matters at this point though. You can either go across the top. As long as you avoid the robots, you're okay. It's just easier to avoid the robots underneath. So lower the water and then drag Mui to the other side. Onto the other side, have Mui pop open the vine cave. And you're going to have a whole bunch of rightward walking to do now, so I will regroup with you in a moment. Once you've enjoyed your little encounter with the robots, have Mui up and push the vine down and climb on up to the other side. And again continue to the right. As you come into the section, on the left hand side you're going to need to jump on top of this. It's going to break and give way, and you want to go to the right hand side. Crouch under, and as you continue forward you'll need to keep pushing further to the right. This level is actually quite long, so just sit tight and eventually we'll get there. Okay, so this is our next robot encounter, and we're going to need to take control again. So make your way to the right and duck into the grass. As you can see, it is one of the drone-like robots. Wait for it to go up and over to the left, and you and Mui will need to hop up to the top right-hand corner. You'll be out of sight just here, so it's nice and safe. Our goal is to make it to the button on the other side, and we're going to also do some fun stuff with Mui. You can go, if the robot's on the right, I'd just recommend go and follow the robot whilst it's going to the left, because it's just a little bit easier to manage. Drop down into the grass and just hide away here. Give it a minute. Once the robot has gone past, jump over to the button, and we're going to have Mui ride the drone and help us out. So pop the lid off, take control of the drone. You will actually be cutting it very fine because the drone does get very close. Have the drone land next to you on the switch, and then disconnect from the switch for a second, point at the drone and have Mui sit on top. Then take control of the drone and you'll be able to fly Mui up and over. How he keeps his balance, I have no idea, because that would be very difficult. But as you come over the top, there's going to be a wire. Cut through that wire with Mui's powerful bite, and you want to go across back to Mui, climb up the rope and open up the vines on the right hand side.
Shalom, Mui.
So as we go into the section, we're going to actually have a bit of a quick time event. Now, if you fail at this quick time event, it is going to backfire. You will get killed, or Mui will get killed, depending on how it plays out. You can turn off the quick time events in the main menu. They are not particularly difficult, but I don't know whether that would affect the achievement for completing the game without dying or not. Maybe if somebody could confirm in the comment section below, but I did not have a particular challenge with the QuickTime events. But if you want to switch them off, you can do. So as you come into this section, there's going to be a high rock outcrop. Both you and Mui need to make your way to the top. Once you're at the top, have Mui take a seat at the end, and this is key to the success of this part. If you go to your left and drop down, now Lana is going to need to play bait to a very big creature that is in this area. So swim to the right. It's almost like it's a mini boss in this scenario, and if you can't see it already, there is a big spider-like thing in this cave. Once you get its attention, all of its eyes will come on, and it's going to start following at this point. And Lana will need to run as quickly as possible. Once you're underneath Mui, you are safe, because Mui is going to attempt to hypnotize the creature. Now, to do this, you need to follow the on-screen prompts by either pressing the Y, X, or A or B button in the right time, or mashing the button. So as the prompt ball appears on the screen, I don't know if it's the same every time, but just hammer the button or press it quickly before the timer is up. But just keep doing this and you will get past this section. Once you've done that, you'll be able to use the monster as a platform. So hop onto the back. Do not call Mui back yet. It's a key that Mui remains focused. Once on the other side, the game will automatically bring Mui back, and you need to exit right because that is going to take you through to chapter number 10. So I think at this part as well, you'll have quite a bit of walking to do. So I will catch up with you shortly.
Tailo?
Okay, so we are now in chapter 10, and as you probably guessed, we're going to kickstart off by going to the right into our first robot encounter. So this robot is relatively easy to bypass. You need to duck underneath the outcrop just here. We're going to go up and over this robot. It's a little bit of a short time frame for us to move, but when it reaches the end of the left ledge, it's going to turn around and make its way back. Jump up onto the ledge on the top, and when it goes back underneath, we're going to jump over the top of it. There's a couple of cases though where it has spotted me at the top, so I recommend using the crouch function just to reduce the line of sight. It doesn't usually spot me, but there's a couple of times where it has. When it's out of the way, drop down and make your way through the grass and squeeze through the cave that is just ahead. So as we arrive at this section, we are going to have to do a spot of puzzle solving. Unfortunately, it didn't go to plan for me. I did fall down a hole, so just be cautious as you go into this area, hence the dodgy cut just at this point in time. So we're going to need to use Muri's hypnotizing skill sets again. So as you squeeze into the cave, on the left hand side there's going to be a caterpillar with its eyes closed, as there is a beam of light coming off of the ledge just to your right hand side. So stay put. Jump to the other side, climb on a board, and that is going to bring it down. This will allow you to hypnotize the caterpillar. Have the caterpillar edge backwards into its section, and it's going to go out, and it is going to press the power button off, and that is going to cause the lift to come down. Lana needs to return to the lift. Muri still needs to be in control of the caterpillar and jump on the lift that is just above. Once you are on that lift, the only way it's going to go back up is with the power back on, so we need to lure the caterpillar back out of the hole, and that is going to reboot everything. Bring Muri back to your attention, and you want to press the button and take the lift to the top of the rock outcrop and make your way to the right. So this next section, be careful, it can be quite easy to die here. The first thing we want to do is send Muri up. Be careful not to fall, is what I mean, by the way. Have Muri hit the switch. That's going to set the lift free and the rope is going to come untangled. Have Muri press the button again and take control of the rope. Once you're back on the rope, as you can see I do a great job of doing that, have Muri push the button again and you want to land next to Muri. Have Muri press the button one more time, and then jump onto the lift, and then Muri will press the button again. And now we've got to be cautious here because this is one of the areas where I fell off during some of my practice runs on a trying to figure it out phase. So we want to follow the robot as it goes to the right. We're going to hit the button that is on the right hand side, but you're going to come back again because that's going to bring the lift up, land on the ledge that is just on the left, and then when the robot goes back again, what we need to do is hit the button one more time and then drop down below. As you can see, it's very close to getting caught. and call Mui back to your side. And as you come down, just make sure that you safely get off of the elevator and continue to the left. And on the next part of our list is our final collectible of the game. We still have a few chapters to get through anyway. We want Mui to stand by the button that is just here, and as you can see we've got a drone that we need to avoid. Have Mui press the button, it's going to open up the floor and take cover underneath the metal piece just here. As the robot goes to the right, you want to make your way down into the hole. Have Mui immediately press the button that is going to give you cover from the line of sight. Once it's passed, release the button, climb up out and to the right, and there is a button on the right hand side. Pull off the cover and we are going to take control of the magnet that is just above this robot. And what we need to do is we're going to do something a bit brutal. Grab the robot with a magnet, shove it into the hole, release the magnet, and then have Mui press the button to cover up the robot, locking it into the hole below. Shift the magnet to the left hand side and line it up with the ledge that you were just taking cover under just a moment ago, and that magnet is going to serve as a ledge to climb up to the area above. You can call Mui back to your side now, hop onto the little ledge, jump to the magnet, or do what I do and clip through the bottom of the ledge somehow, but when you climb up, jump to the left and you're going to have to squeeze through a very small gap, and as you continue to the left there is going to be Shrine 10 out of 10. You'll bag yourself 2 achievements at this point in time, one for finding the final shrine and then also the achievement for finding all the shrine and producing the image at the end. Once this is all over, make your way back to the magnet. Controls. As you come into the section, make your way over back to the button on the right hand side. We need to use the magnet as a ledge to get to the level above the button because we just about can't jump high enough. So take control and bring the magnet near to you so it acts as a stepping stone to the level above. And then above you, you will see that there is a wire that needs to be pushed down. So once you're up there, go to the right, point to the top and have Mui drop up and push that off of the edge. So once this is up, the rope is going to get pushed down. Once you've done that, you want to hop onto the rope and you want to hop to the right and you want to make your way over. Keep going to the right and make sure with this section you hang and drop. Don't attempt to jump to the bar because you will potentially kill yourself. It's on the edge of being too high, but dropping down is the safest way to do it. Keep making your way to the right and there'll be a section where you will need to have Mui jump up to the top and bite through the wire and then continue moving right from there.
Vamos aqui. Yellow.
So be warned with this section, this is the area where Mui died the most for me. So we want to kickstart this off. Mui needs to stay put. And we're going to go past these fans. So these fans will kill you if you're inside them, naturally. Mui is also too light to go into this corridor and will get blown backwards by the wind into whatever hazard there is. Wait before the wind stops blowing before you attempt to cross any further hurdles. So the regular intervals between the fans, it's not going to push Lana back, but Mui is subject to damage. And once the fan has stopped spinning, go through to the other side. Be warned, there is a robot on the other side that you've got to watch out for. The robot doesn't come down on the left hand side, but we'll do it on the right. So unfortunately I don't have enough time to pull the switch here, so just drop down and you'll be okay. Once you hop back up, you want to throw the switch, and that's going to turn off all of the electrical paneling in the area. We need to then progress back through the wind tunnel, so make your way to the far left and back to Mui. Now once you're back at Mui, we want to go through the left gate, and we're going to pull the cover off the button. Hit the button, and that is going to take control of your robot. Okay, once you're in control of the robot, you want to fly that up. You will then want to go to the left through the fans. We actually want to go down this time. We don't want to go up, so don't continue on the up, go down, and as you come across, there's going to be this weak ledge just here. Crash the robot into it to open it up. Keep shifting to the left and land by our friend Mui. Disengage with the button and have Mui take a seat on top of the robot, and we are going to need to take control. Now just be very careful here, because it's easy to off Mui by accident. So I apologise for the cut here. Mui died a couple of times. The first thing you need to do is go straight through the fan and upwards. You don't want to be in line of sight at that wind, because he will automatically get blown off and killed. So wait for the fans to stop. Going up the top way gives them a break from the wind, and then you can push through the other side. Once you're on the other side, do not bite the cable. Fly to the right and hit the button. Once that button has been pressed, that is going to open up the cable for biting. And once that is done, you'll be able to relinquish the control of the robot, make your way to the route back to Mui, and use the rope on the other side. All of the fans and electricity will now be turned off in the area, so it's just safe for you to run through. Once you're on the other side, climb the rope and then keep going right. So I warn you now, this next session could be a little bit tricky. You want Mui to take a seat on the hole just over here. Crouch underneath. As you can see, the other hole on the other side is just here. We have to do a classic case of what we did in Abe's Odyssey and Abe's Exodus, if you're familiar. But we need Mui to stop, start and follow. So make your way to the first patch of long grass. Have Mui play bait to the robot to lure it past the grass so that you can move to the other side. Have him jump back into the hole immediately afterwards. Run over and take cover as far as you can. So once the robot has spotted you, shuffle into the cave on the other side. Have Mui transfer back over to the grass and get him to move into the grass. Press B to get him to stop in the first patch. When the robot runs to the left, we're going to get its attention again back on Lana, so it buys Mui enough time to move across. So once he engages with Lana, have Lana duck back into the cave, and then move Mui to the second patch of grass. Must stop in the middle. Once that is over, the robot has stopped giving you aggro. You'll be able to summon Mui back to Lana's side. Once you've done that, keep moving to the right, and immediately you're going to be faced with another robot challenge. We're going to need to bait this one up to the top. So move to the right by the edge of the cave, and what we need Mui to do in this scenario is hop to the ledge that is above to get the robot's attention. So time this right, don't send Mui up straight away because otherwise it will not have enough time to escape. When Mui's at the top, duck into the cave. When the robot heads to the top, immediately call Mui back to your side. The robot's going to jump down and it's going to get confused by the gap. And then you need to keep moving right. And once that cutscene is over, you're in for a long walk. So take the walk and I will regroup with you in chapter number 11, the Oasis. Okay, so new chapter, new objective. You'll wake up in this little area, this safe zone, and you're going to need to make your way to the right hand side.
Tiai.
Tailo. Ona. Lana.
Rakwen.
Quen. Tatane.
Lana. Pama omena.
Muy. Hilo.
Tilai, Lana. Olai Rakwen.
So, once the little cutscene's over with the guy, we're going to solve a bit of a puzzle. So, it's going to kickstart off by us looking at the first chalkboard that is just here. And you click onto it, you're going to see a musical sheet that is linked to a robot. You'll see there are some symbols like an N, two C's, another N, and then there's kind of like square with a wire coming off it. Beneath that C, you're going to see a two lines and a dot. Make your way over to the next section and you're going to see the translation of those different things. So the N, for example, is the equivalent of a dot, line, dot. So we need to translate the musical sheet from the first board and using the information from the second board. And we're going to need to enter into the buttons that are just over here. Now it takes a few minutes for the guy to walk over and give it a whack and get things started. So just sit tight as he wanders over. The solution to this puzzle is the same thing every single time. Okay, so to solve the puzzle, we need to decode the letters to the dots and the dashes. Like I said, it's the same thing, so just copy what I enter onto the buttons. Just keep pressing the button until the right symbol appears on the monitor above. So as we mentioned earlier, the N is equivalent of two dashes followed by a dot. There are two N's in this sequence, so let's put those in straight away. This is on the second and the third pillar. And then just copy for the rest what I do on the screen just here. So once you've done that, you want to go over and push the button that is just on the side. That is going to initiate a cutscene, and in the next sequence it is all QuickTime events, so you need to observe what is going on the screen. I don't know whether every QuickTime event is the same button in each order, but it's a classic case of press the button before the timer runs out or mash the button a number of times in a specific section. You'll just need to pretty much run to the very end whilst you're riding the robot, so I'll let you play this sequence out by yourselves. I will see you in the end of this chapter. So once that's over, the cutscene is over, just straight into the hole, and that is the beginning of chapter 12. You do need to move quickly there because the robots will get you otherwise. But push right here, you'll also get an achievement for surviving the Oasis, but go right and I will see you in the next area. So this last section is the final sequence of the game. So you just need to pretty much now try not to die if you're on your final run, and hopefully you had no deaths. You won't see the achievement pop on my game because I died a couple of times. And like I say though, you can always replay a chapter if something doesn't quite go to plan. This is the hardest chapter I would say overall for surviving, as there is generally a lot more going on. So this first section, the moment when you hit this part here, and ignore the dodgy cut because I did get killed by this robot. When it heads to the right, you want to duck underneath the cover that's just ahead of you. Once it flies over the top, just mantle up the right hand side and keep going right. Sorry, you need to mantle to the middle first and then jump to the right. And then you want to crouch to the gap that is just here. And we've got another magnet in place. So ignore the magnet for now, go over to the right, and we want to move the box out from underneath the cover. Once that box is out of the picture, make your way over to the button on the right hand side and we'll be able to take control of the magnet. Once you're in control of the magnet, you want to grab the box and you want to lift it up and over to the left and place it down on the other side. So go up, and as you come down, grab that box with the magnet, go over to the other side and place it down so it acts as a stepping stone for you to get up. Once you've done that, place the magnet between the middle of the two ledges, and that is going to serve as an additional stepping stone to get to the higher level. So once you've done that, make your way back to the box and then hop over to the other side. Okay, as you come down, drop down into the grass below. Watch out for the robot in the section. Don't get as excited as I did. As it makes its way over to the right, it won't be able to do it for the left, but as it goes over to the right and is very close, as you can see I chickened out on that last one. Duck into the grass, and as it goes to the left, hop up onto the ledge and move right even further. At the end just here, as you can probably tell, the intensity is up. You want to make your way into the wires, and the robot over here is going to start doing some interesting approaches to stuff. So it's going to hop up to the left, it's going to drop to the middle and make its way to the right. As it drops down to the middle, we want to follow it to the right, and just before it jumps up, go over to the other side. You want to squeeze through the gap that is just here. As we can say, as I mentioned, this is pretty much one of the final levels. So it's going to get busier. So we're now going to be at this launch pad where it's taking off, and it is going up to the giant sphere that is above us. Crawl under the ledge and then jump up onto the launch pad. Another one of those little robots is going to come down and it's going to open up. You need to get inside and duck underneath the crates, and there's going to be a short cutscene. Okay, so we are now touching down in the big spherical thing. Once you're out, make your way to the right. Okay, once you're in this section, there is going to be a robot at the top, and that robot is going to be flitting left and right. Make your way to the underneath ledge and go towards the box. We don't have very much of a time frame on this one because the robot's only moving a short distance. Grab the box and we need to bring that beneath the ledge where the robot is living today. Once it's beneath, you can hop up onto the box. It's not necessarily going to see you. When it goes to the left, you need to jump up and throw the switch to trigger the gate on the end. Now, with a very short time window, it makes this very tricky, so just move as quickly as possible. When it's done, drop down. You can make a run for it or you can hide again, but be sure that you're safe and squeeze through the gap where it can't reach you. Continue through this section to see some interesting things going on. Okay, so we are going to have to track down where our good friend Mui has been boarded off to. As you probably noticed that Mui was picked up. Not ideal. But keep pressing forward. You're going to drop down into this section. We'll see there's a couple of robots patrolling the area. For the robot at the bottom, we just need to follow it to the right. And as it goes to the right, hop up to the ledge below. There is a plenty big enough window. Now, with the robot at the top, we just got to play it smart. We need, when it goes to the left-hand side, okay, I almost get caught here, just make sure that you're completely undercover. But when it goes to the far left-hand side, and you want to do it at the time when it's going to buy you the most time, I kind of screwed up the timing of that robot, and it just reset itself. So as it comes back, jump up onto the ledge above you. Do not jump to the right, but do not go to the upper ledge immediately. You'll want to duck underneath that ledge and hide out there for a little bit because the window is not very big. So turn around from here, run, jump, climb up. As you can see, it gets very fine. Duck under there. So this is the toughest level, as I mentioned to you earlier. Just make sure that you take extra caution, and if you die, redo the chapter from the beginning. Jump up. Continue to the right. So it's time to get reunited with our good friend Mui. So we need to drop down into this section. You'll see that there's a robot just going left and right. As you drop down, make your way to the left and you're going to get hold of the button that is just here. And at the top you can't see it, but there is a magnet that we can take control of. And using the magnet, we're going to grab the robot and we are going to stuff it into the box at the top where they hid Mui. We just need to pull it out of the path for the time being. It will come back down and it will move the magnet out the way, but grab it, move it to the top, and just place it into the bucket container and make it as awkward as possible for it to leave. Let go of the button, run to the right, and when the robot finally reboots, you should have bought yourself enough time to make it to the other side. As you make it across to the other side, you will see underneath the ledge here there is another button. You'll need to pop off the panel, and this is going to give you control of the robot. So once you are in control of that robot, you need to fly the drone into the box that is on the ledge and use the drone to knock the box off. Once that is off, relinquish the controls. Take that crate and you want to pull that crate to the left. And once that crate is over to the left, you'll want to use the magnet that is at the top, and you want to bring that down to grab the box and container, and you need to place it in the upper container where we stored the robot temporarily. So use the magnet and lift it up, and that is going to get Mui to escape this yellow thing. So once that's over, you're going to need to take control of the drone again, and I think this is probably one of my favorite parts of the game because Mui does really not care about gravity. Just grab the drone, crash it into Mui's box, and he's just going to stick to the roof. He just doesn't care. So once you are reunited, you're going to bag yourself an achievement for reconnecting with Mui, and we're going to put him straight back to work. So he's going to need to sit on top of the drone. So point at the drone and have him take a seat on top of it, and we need to take control of the drone through the use of the buttons again. So you need to take Mui up to the roof, and at the top of the roof there is a button. And on that button we need to press that button, and that's going to switch off the electrical panels that are in the roof part. So if you ever played those old school Flash games with the helicopter, this reminds me exactly of that moment. You need to navigate the tunnels, do not crash into the electrical panning, otherwise it will eliminate Mui. Just take your time, tap the right trigger to make sure you get the right boost, but make sure that you turn off all switches in this area, because that is going to allow us to access. So there is a 4 in total. Once that's done, Mui will need to fly down to the bottom area, and as you go left there is going to be a switch will open up the electrical fence for Lana to come into this section. As I said, just don't get fried. Once you've hit all the buttons, relinquish control of the drone, make your way to the right, and there's a grate that you need to remove and keep moving to the right. So in this next section it's quite easy to die. What we actually need to do is climb down this intersection where the yellow markings are. Mui's going to take the pipe on the right hand side. With this section, as you jump to this part here, be sure that you pull up onto the ledge. Do not attempt to jump from a wall kick to the next ledge. Jump from the top of it. Once you've done that, you'll want to keep pushing right, and we are going to go through some long walking zones. So I will regroup with you shortly.
Hilo? Hilo! 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 Lana! Hilo! Hola, muy. Hilo! Lana! Iba aquí. Hilo? Lana? Hilo? Lana? Hilo! Lana! Papa! Tie! Hilo!
So once that's over, we are now kind of in this final push segment. You'll fall down a very long hole and slide. The goal here, stay with Mui. Mui knows the way out, so keep sliding down. The first thing we need to do is duck under the grate just in front of us, jump over the ledge, and then drop down to the ledge below. This really reminds me of a paramite's nest in Abe's Odyssey or Exodus. Go to the left, slide down even further, and you want to start running to the right. Definitely reminds me of the Paramonia Temple. And as you get out through here, you're going to squeeze through this right grate just over here. We're getting very close to the end of the game now, and we're nearing completion. And we're probably leading into the area that we could deem potentially the final boss. So keep making your way to the far right hand side as far as possible. So once you're at the top, you want to send Mui to the upper button and have Mui press Y on that button. Immediately call Mui back down to safety, and there is a button on the right hand side. You'll want Mui to stand next to it. Now this red orb in the background, when it gives off the blast like this and it lights up the room, that is going to kill you. Now you need to have Mui press the button to open up the bridges on the floor, and you want to make your way to the column that is indented in the middle. Have Mui press the button to give you cover from the powerful light. Once that's over, reopen the covering, run to the next pillar, and drop down into the center again. Press Y to close it. Open it back up again and make your way to the left, and there's going to be a button that Lana is going to need to push, and that is going to reveal some form of stone that we're going to use against the machine. Once the blast is over, make your way to the left lower column, cover yourself up again. Once that's done, jump up to the little beacon in the middle, and this is going to start with a quick time event. So all you need to do is follow the on-screen prompts like last time, press the button before the timer is up, spam it, and I'm going to let you enjoy this section, and I will regroup with you in the next chapter after a very long-winded cutscene.
Tiai. Menomui. Olai.
So if you've been following along, we are now at the last chapter of the game and you'll be in a very familiar place. Except this time around we're not trying to find your sister, we are trying to find Mui. So Mui is now a permanent resident at the Tailo village. So we're going to kick this off by heading over to the left. The character doesn't run in the start of this sequence, it's only a slow walk. But as you keep going to the left, you just need to pretty much follow the same path as you did at the beginning of the game. So jump all of the hurdles. As you can see, it's pretty much the same pattern. Obviously they're rebuilding after the incident. Keep going left and eventually you'll bump into a old friend. And then you want to keep heading left because we're going to regroup with your sister one more time. So make your way through this section. As you go through the chef's kitchen again this time, it's not actually mandatory for you to hide from the chef. She will not turn around or spot you at this moment, so you just run straight through. Keep going to the left and go to the end of the dock, and I will regroup with you once the next puzzle comes in. So by this point of the game, you should be familiar with this puzzle. It's the third time that you have been doing it. You want to grab the logs and you want to pull them over to the wall. That is going to line up the base. Hop onto the logs and jump up to the higher ledge where Miri is at. Continue to the left and you're going to duck through the cave. And keep going until you bump into your sister again. This is the end of the game. I've been Jasticate from the Achievement Squad. If you find this guide useful, drop us a like, comment, subscribe, and happy hunting.